We just saw Star Wars Rogue One, and I personally thought it was excellent. I give it 100%. It clearly outlined in a very fast pace everything leading up to precisely right up to the handoff to Princess Leia. There was CGI in there, I warn you now, and it was clearly CGI, but that was brief, tiny little moments in an excellent plot that carried through all the way. I warn you now, listen carefully all the way through, because some of us didn't and missed a lot. So that's my take on it.
All right.
I also give it 100%. I liked it a lot. I don't know what to say. Not the best at these reviews, but it was great. Yeah, you definitely have to listen, because if you don't listen, you'll miss out. Because you'll miss out on things and not think the movie was good. And it's really good. I definitely recommend it.
So was the acting good?
Was the action or acting?
Acting.
The acting was fantastic.
Fantastic. You bought everyone. You bought how they were feeling, whatever.
Yeah, I bought all the relationship with the characters, all the acting.
Yeah, and then the action?
The action was fantastic. It was a war movie. It was definitely a war. And I bought all the character. I was attached to the characters. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
All right, good. Okay. I give it, I'm going to say I'm going to give it like a 95, 96. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and this was a big Star Wars movie. It was a Star Wars movie. If you're looking for a movie that brings you back to the original series, the original trilogy, this does it. There's a lot of callbacks to the original movies, a lot of sets from A New Hope, and it really explained how they got the plans well. Very clear, and you got to see some old characters in a new light, and you got to see new characters. But it was definitely a war movie, but inside the Star Wars universe. And the battle scenes played out just like you remember from Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back. Those types of battle scenes. So there was less story in this movie, more action. But it definitely fills in a lot of blanks for Star Wars fans. For non-Star Wars fans, I don't know, I can't speak to it, but for Star Wars fans, it hit the spot.
Yeah, I don't know how it would do for non-Star Wars fans, but it definitely puts the war in Star Wars.
Was I not listening, or did you grade it?
Yes, I said
95.
Where are you at,
He's
man?
not listening.
Apparently I'm not listening.
95, 96.
Yeah. All right, hold it at the middle so you don't mess it up. All right. So they all loved it. For me, I give it like a 75. And why? It's like that's
the percent you listen to.
That's about the like I was thinking about it, like what is why would I give a percentage? Like what is it? And I'm thinking 75% of this movie I liked. So there you go. But for me, all the characters none of the characters felt real for me. Just none of the characters they introduced. I think that the special effects were great. There was a hand-to-hand combat scene in the middle of this thing that was really unexpected and very cool.
Good laughs.
There was a lot of death in this, like noticeable, like wow, there's a lot of people dying in this. And thinking about like what's going on in the world right now, I'm like, wow, they're showing like this town's like Aleppo right now. Like it's like shit is going down, and so I appreciate that. The callbacks, like all the symbols and like the stuff that reminded you of the old movies was like miraculous house, and it was smart and it was well done. But for me, it just fell apart with each of these characters like sort of just being not like didn't care about any of the did not care about any of these characters, and some of the decisions that they made I felt were questionable. Now everyone's been explaining the movie to me for 15 minutes now, and I'm still not like, oh, now that you said that to me, now it makes me care about these characters more. They just made weird decisions, and I thought convenient decisions for the plot, and convenient things are happening. And it's interesting because someone told me, like, well, you know, there's a switch that needs to be flipped at some point, okay? And I go, that seems kind of crazy. And so I was like, well, that's how the Star Wars is. It's always been that way. They can't change the flip of the switch or whatever. And I was just thinking, like, yeah, I thought during the movie I actually had that same thought, the same explanation he gave. I had to give myself that explanation of, like, this is really stupid. Wait, they did this in the first one. Okay, now I need to accept it, because even though now I'm realizing how stupid it was in the original trilogy. And I'm just like, okay, all right. And then there's like a moment in the end where they're like, this needs to happen. And it, like, I was like, my eyes could have rolled right out of my head. It was it was like, are you serious? Did they just actually say what I think they just said? And they did. And it just was silly. And then, but all the while, it's this beautiful, like, tapestry of pictures and imagery and all this stuff, and callbacks to not only Star Wars but other war movies. There were, you know, like matches, like straight match, like you could match frames from other war movies to this movie, and then be there. So anyway, so 75. I mean, see it in the theater, see it in IMAX 3D, because the spectacle for me is the value, not the characters.
What's the average between all four of our reviews?
It's 2 people gave this movie 100. I've never heard anyone give any movie 100. So let's see, 100. You gave it 95?
Mm-hmm.
And I gave it a 75. It's
like a 90.
90.
85,
Yeah.
90.
So they think it's worth your money and that you should go see it. So I think it's worth it too. I mean, it's better than most things, but not for me, man. To tell you the truth, there was a 5-minute sequence of Dunkirk before it that I would pay money just to see that. It was amazing. All right. Peace and love. Rate, watch my videos. Hit me up if you want to come. I love you. Thanks for watching.